Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Backstage with Blur the Border. Today we have on the podcast Aastha Sharma, who started out in the industry when the term stylist was still catching on, and celebrity stylists were far and few. Today, Aastha has made her mark in the industry, having styled not only the biggest names in Bollywood, but also across the styling gamut, from editorial to wedding styling, and commercials to films. She's also the co-founder of Wedding Style Project and the Wardrobist. Aastha, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
So am I. I'm very excited to talk to you today because you started out wanting to be a lawyer, but then shifted gears and then studied fashion. Can you talk to me a little bit about what you studied and how you found your calling in fashion?
So I had no inclination to get into fashion or I had no idea that this is going to be my path. I wanted to become a lawyer because my dad is a lawyer. And it kind of excited me, when you growing up and, you kind of look up to your parents and, you want to kind of take what they are doing. But a very, very crucial stage when I was just applying for colleges and stuff, I'm glad I did not get into law, and I did my graduation in literature. And that's kind of changed my perspective of what I wanted to do. Fashion again was even then not an option because you had very, very limited idea of your careers, like either you become a lawyer or a doctor or engineer. Getting into fashion was completely new at that point. However, my parents were very supportive, and when I told that I want to study fashion for my masters, they were quite open about it. And even I thought that it would be something different, something I've never explored, so why not explore it? And yeah, that's how I got into it. It was just by chance, and I don't regret any of it. I'm glad it happened. It kind of destined for me to kind of get into this line.
What was your first styling gig?
Actually, it was in college, and I was assisting the Maxim magazine that was really big at that time, and they just come to India. And I was assisting Rin Jajo. He was the fashion editor, and I used to go and intern after college and help him out. And that was actually my first gig, and I kind of got interested in fashion and I got introduced to styling at that point. It was so new, and only editorial styling was the biggest styling thing which used to happen at that time. And especially in Delhi, where there was no Bollywood styling or Bollywood costumes and stuff. So I think that's where I started and kind of got really interested into editorial styling.
Your first job was at a magazine.
Yeah.
And then how did you get where you are today, having styled so many Bollywood celebrities?
I started interning while I was studying at Pearl Academy in Delhi, and from there I got an opportunity to work with Harper's Bazaar magazine, and I worked with them for 2.5 years. They had just come into India, and editorial styling was kind of booming at that time, and there was so many things happening, so many fun things. If you're working with a magazine at that time, it was just so fascinating because you were working with celebrities, you're doing covers, you're doing fashion editorials, you're traveling across the country, across the world, and doing different kind of shoots. So I was really enjoying that. And then after working in a magazine for a while, you kind of become stagnant, and you're like, okay, no, what next? So celebrity styling was so new and fresh at that time. I stumbled upon a few stylists who were very, very new. That celebrity styling was so new that I kind of stumbled upon it, and it really interested me. And I was like, okay, let's explore this. And it was an overnight move to Bombay and from Delhi, and I think it was the best decision of my life.
And how did you come to starting the Wardrobist?
When I moved to Bombay, and I kind of realized that, this is not a job you can do alone. You need a team, especially if you want to do different things and you want to do multiple things. You need a very, very good team. And I didn't believe in, just hiring somebody and making them work for 6 months, 1 year, and then finding another person. So I decided very early that I want to create a company where, stylists can come, they can join, they can learn and contribute to, kind of evolving, so we can do multiple things. That's why today I have celebrity styling in my portfolio. I have advertising, I have films, OTT, web shows, weddings. So we can do all of this if you have a good team. We all work really hard, and they have been with me for so many years. Something I'm very proud of.
Can you talk to me about one of the best relationships you've built out over the year? Because you've styled so many people and created so many amazing looks over the years. Can you tell me about something that has been iconic for you personally?
I think what I did with Aishwarya for Cannes Film Festival over those 5 years, it was a great learning process. It was one of the biggest opportunities one could get. And it was at the time when, Cannes was looked upon and it was flourishing, and Aishwarya was flourishing at Cannes, and I got the opportunity to work with her. And we did some really, really challenging, fun, creative looks together. Yeah. And I think that was kind of, and I was so young, it was not like I had spent so much time in the industry and that, and I was doing it after so many years. I was so young. I was just I had just entered the industry 2-3 years into it, and I got this opportunity and I took full advantage of it. We used to finish one Cannes and already start planning and, thinking about the next one.
Yeah.
So I think those 5 years, 6 years were really, joyous, and it was something.
It's also mad, no, when you're styling abroad. I have so many insane stories.
Yeah, it is another experience altogether.
Yeah.
But also, when you're styling internationally, on a global platform, the expectation, of course, is different. Plus, the way they work is a lot more organized than the way we kind of work here.
For sure.
Of course, things are becoming much better, but it's just
in what sense would you say things are becoming better?
I mean, in terms of planning, or in terms of giving enough time and enough notice, and now we have a lot of Indian options available. Earlier, we had none.
Yeah.
When I used to style for Cannes, it was very difficult. There was a handful of designers you could go to. Now there are so many. So, and
that offer a sizing range as well.
Exactly. Earlier it was only 0 to size 2 or size 4. Now, you have the opportunity of exploring different designers with different, they're ready to customize, they're ready to, kind of bring in that change. So, I mean, it was very different back then. It's very different now.
Yeah.
But I think Cannes kind of, working on that global platform kind of gave me that exposure to really value that time.
Yeah. Tell me about how the range of work that you do within the styling gamut. It's just so varied. You style celebrities, you've worked in editorials. Tell me about working on FOMO shots. You said earlier on that, everything takes some time. Obviously, when you're working over a web series, that takes time. Can you tell me about your working process?
So again, when I did FOMO shots, that time web shows had just about come in.
Yeah.
And I got this call from the production house, and I did not even take it very seriously because, I had never done a web show because it was either you're doing your celebrity dressing, or you're doing films, or you're doing a song.
Yeah.
Styling a web show at that time was okay, I had no idea of the kind of project which was offered to me and the kind of scale it's going to go up to. So I went for a meeting. I had a really good meeting with the production house, and I was like, okay, this sounds exciting. And
the cast was fun.
The cast was fun, and the team was fun, and it was creative, we had to create those characters. We had to create something from scratch, There were these 4 girls who had no identity, and they had no faces, and I had to create that. I had to create them from really nothing. So it was so exciting, and and they wanted fashion, and it had to be stylish.
That is the dream, no?
Yeah, so it was, I think, 2017 that I got this call, and then the meetings, and, just overnight I was just working on this project, and I was ideating, and we were creating these characters. And Rangita, who was the producer on the show, she had mad ideas about these 4 girls and how they should look and how everybody in the show should look. And it kind of worked hand in hand, and we had amazing 5 years of working together over 3 seasons. Yeah.
Is there one character that you personally identify with?
No. So many people ask me this question. I can't. I love Damini. I love Bani's character, Umang. I love all of them. They are all so distinct.
Yeah.
If you see Siddhi to Damini, they're poles apart, yet they're best friends.
Yeah.
So, you'll see them in their dressing as well. You will see over the years how they have changed in their personal space.
Yeah.
You kind of see that in
There's definitely a a trajectory there.
100%.
Sure.
And in terms of the dressing also, it's a lot more fun and a bit youngish in season 1. And by the time you reach season 3, it's a lot more mature.
Yeah.
And
You're right.
like thoughtful dressing.
Yeah.
If you say, also times change, dressing change, everything changes, right?
Yeah.
It was a beautiful journey. Season 2, we had mad fun because we had a wedding in the show. We had travel. First time we had stepped out of India. We had gone to Turkey and, it was an outdoor. So there were so many areas where I could explore.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
I want to talk to you about a little bit of a deep dive. And here we put the spotlight on your personal experiences and how you manage, the job, which is many, like we've just talked about, and the industry as it functions.
Correct.
Right. So can you tell me a little bit about, how you're handling the job? You're a new mom. Congrats, by the way.
Thank you.
You're a new mom. Tell me how you're managing the work and also being a new mom.
As they say, it takes a village. I have that village.
Yeah.
They're all helping me. And I'm lucky that I have them in my life to be able to manage everything. As I said, my team is my biggest support system. And I couldn't have done anything. I had a tough last 1 year personally in terms of a lot of things are going on and my team was at it. And we were doing also professionally, we were doing some very big projects.
Yeah.
So it was managing both was hard, but I guess when you have a good support system, you can rely on them blindly. Yeah. So depending on what project I'm working on, I kind of build my team so that if just in case I'm not available, I have somebody doing the job under my kind of supervision. Tell
me, what was that shift in headspace like for you that, now you have this new person that's going to be entering your life and taking up some amount of your...
Quite a bit amount.
Yeah, quite a lot of your time, headspace. And, it takes what it takes. And then at the same time, you have to remain creative and also look after your team and manage everything that you've got going on.
I mean, it is difficult, but it's not impossible. So once in my headspace, I feel that I can manage it.
Yeah.
I make sure it happens, kind of. And then everything around me kind of works toward making it happen. My baby is very small. So I'm kind of balancing my day according to his schedule and everybody around. You guys have been so supportive. If I ask for
obviously.
a certain... right?
Yeah.
How you're saying obviously.
Yeah.
Everywhere they kind of understand, and that's very important. And especially, there's so many women forces around. You're working with so many women around. They understand. And even men understand. If you say, I can't do this, there's a reason because I have a baby, and people understand. So I think I kind of schedule myself like that.
Yeah.
Where I can manage both. I take each day as it comes. And when it comes to creativity, I think over the years, I've kind of managed everything.
Yeah.
Of course, I need my me time for that creative space. Right now, of course, I don't have that, but I'm sure I'll take a break. I love to travel.
Yeah.
I love to be in nature. So, that gives me a lot of energy, being in nature. So I always make sure that I take these small trips, like a weekend getaway or just take 10 days off or 15 days off in 2-3 months to kind of clear out my headspace and get back in the groove because it's very, very hectic otherwise.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of gives me that balance.
Okay, so guys, it can be done. It's possible. You can be a stylist
it all depends person to person. You know, it's just because I'm doing it doesn't mean that I'm giving pressure to anybody else.
No, of course.
Because sometimes, it happens. Sometimes when I go on social media, I'm like, oh my God, this one's doing that one's doing that. It can give you a lot of pressures. To all the new moms, you don't have to jump back to things or jump back to work just because someone else is doing it. I have my low days. I'm constant. There are so many days I'm just sitting and I'm just looking into the space and I'm like, oh God, what is going on in my life? And you go through postpartum and you go through all these things. It's very natural, but not everybody has to jump back.
No, of course not. But, listening to how you've managed it, it's kind of like a blueprint for if you were to do it, this
Yeah.
is how you could do it.
Could do it, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is doable.
It's absolutely doable,
Sure.
which is nice to know. I also want to talk to you about the wedding style project
Correct.
and the Wardrobist.
Correct.
We talked earlier on about how building out a team of stylists is, of course, extremely important. But I think a lot of the times people forget that, you also have other administrative jobs within the styling realm that are extremely important.
Correct.
You definitely need somebody to look into your finances. You need somebody who's booking the jobs.
Correct.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you've built out your companies?
As I said, good team is really important,
Yeah.
and good management is very important.
Yeah.
So of course, we have our accounts team in place. We have we obviously have stylists. We have assistants and interns who are taking care of the wedding of the Wardrobist for wedding style project. We have a different set of team who's coordinating with the clients, and we have an accounts team, and I have a very good managerial team who takes care of all my logistics and my bookings and my monies and all the back end work, which is the backbone of us.
Yeah.
And I have a really good management team to kind of work. I work with Efficient, and they manage everything for me. And I've been working with them for last 3 years, I think, and 3 to 4 years, and 4 years. Yeah.
Wow.
And they've literally, I don't have to bother about
Anything. That's
anything.
amazing.
Yeah. It's very important.
Yeah.
Especially when you're doing multiple things, you don't want to be,
Looking into the nitty-gritties.
Yeah, and those nitty-gritties are the most important, one of the most important aspect and part of your job. So you have to make sure that that's solid.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to move into the next segment of the podcast.
Okay.
Now, this is a little bit of a rapid fire where I'm going to give you categories and you have to tell me your favorite homegrown brands in those particular categories, right? Tell me a little bit about your favorite resort wear brands.
There's Shiva Naresh, there's Flirtatious, then there's Veranda.
Yeah.
I think all of them are doing such amazing job. There's so many swimwear brands now. So, earlier we used to depend on international brands for resort wear, but now we have such amazing ones in India. So to name a few, Shiva Naresh, Veranda, Flirtatious, and even Flame in
So
Goa.
good.
Love it.
The curation is unmatched.
The curation is unmatched. The fabrics, the texture, the colors, it's perfect for your nice summer wear, resort wear, holiday wear collection.
Okay, Aastha, on to the next one. Tell me about your favorite brands for bags and shoes.
Okay, so Shop Mystery for bags,
So
they
nice.
are doing really good.
Yeah.
Then Tiger Maron, I think they are doing some really nice, this thing. Napa Dori, I love Napa Dori. I think they are doing some amazing bags, and
the quality is really good.
They're also doing some travel bags and office bags and stuff. So I think they have a huge category of a beautiful leather.
So functional
leather goods.
as well.
Yeah. For shoes, there's Fizzy Cup, Goblet, there is Melissa, then there is Sky.
Melissa is so underrated for monsoons in the city.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so good. So good. And they have such fun colors, to explore from.
Yeah.
And but I feel for shoes, I think we can do better. I don't think we have too many good shoe brands. Or even if we do, they're not comfortable enough.
Yeah, I think the quality does need a little bit looking at.
Yeah. Especially when we are creating so many things. We're creating everything in-house. There's so many homegrown brands for clothes and jewelry and shoes, bags. So I think shoes is one area where we can, footwear is one area we can do better.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Tell me about your favorite jewelry brands.
Oh, so many. Just so many. I can just say globally, I think we have some of the best jewelry brands.
Hands down.
Correct?
Yeah, hands down.
We have from diamonds to semi-precious to silver to anything you say, and we have that, right?
I don't think anybody does jewelry design better than India.
No. Yeah. So I think Dora India, they are doing some fabulous job. I love their pieces.
Yeah.
Then Anu Merton, I don't know if you've seen her.
Oh, of course I have. So good.
She's my, I'm obsessed with her. I see her page almost every second day of what she's coming up with, because she has mixed, the traditional Indian workmanship with the modern kind of style.
Yeah, I love looking at it.
Yeah,
it's so
beautiful.
satisfying to look at.
Yeah. Even her page is so satisfying to look at, right?
Yeah.
Outhouse, Misho, they are all doing such amazing jobs. They've taken it into like Indian jewelry to the international level. Amrapali.
Oh God, so good.
So Mrinalini, like her Kaliras are like
so good,
famous now, world famous.
Yeah.
So I mean, so many people, so many of our jewelry guys are doing such great job.
Yeah. What are your favorite brands for casual or everyday looks?
Dhruv Kapoor to Kanika Goyal to Kasha to Pero,
so
Lovebirds, Bodice.
Yeah.
And I think they're all doing such a great job with you know, casual street style and everyday wear. And, you know, people like Kanika Goyal and Dhruv Kapoor, they have taken our Indian streetwear to the international level now. So,
exactly.
You know,
and it just shows the range that Indian talent is capable of, right?
Correct. Yeah. And we are going everywhere now. We're so global now.
If you're styling somebody for an event, what is your go-to homegrown brand to create a statement look?
From Gaurav Gupta to Amit Agarwal to in Indian space, Tarun Tehliani to Rohit Bal.
Foolproof.
I mean, they are like solid designers. Gauri Nanika.
Tell me about an international celebrity that you'd want to style in an Indian label.
So, I'm obsessed with Bradley Cooper, and I think he will look amazing in any of the, like, Bangalas or, like, you know, even, like, Indians, like a Rohit Bal or...
Oh, my God, yeah.
Like, or a Tarun. Like, I think, he'll look so hot.
Yeah, he really would. I feel like there's very little you could put him in which he wouldn't look good.
Exactly.
Yeah. Tell me, what is it that you think is really exciting about the Indian homegrown brand space? You know, we've seen so much of a spotlight on Indian talent, on Indian craftsmanship over the last year or so. What's exciting to you about it now?
The most exciting part about like Indian homegrown brands is that we're taking it so global. Yeah. Like, you know, it's not limited to your Indian wear or only in India, or you can only wear in India, or someone like a Rahul Mishra, he's taken his designs to everywhere. You know, look at Gaurav Gupta, like he's almost on all the red carpets internationally, globally. So I think we have so much talent, and I think we are just growing super fast now with the kind of exposure we have and the kind of opportunities we have. Plus our background is so good. Like, you know, when it comes to fabrics, when it comes to textiles and embroideries, we are acing it, and it's globally visible now. Like, people are appreciating it. So I think we have taken the whole design and fashion aspect to the next level. And I don't think there's any looking back to what we have created. And, you know, I think it's only going to grow and grow faster.
I think just the fact that we've elevated our standards and really put the quality and of craftsmanship at the center is just...
Correct.
Looking back in the recent past, are there any collaborations that you've really resonated with?
You know, I had actually really liked H&M and Sabyasachi collaboration. I think some of the pieces were really wearable. The accessories were really good. I didn't get my hands on to all the clothing, but they looked really good. And I think
the price points as well were really good.
Price points were really good, and to get like a Sabyasachi in such a wearable aspect, I think that was really good. The sad part was it got sold out really fast. But I remember seeing the accessories because I had called them for a shoot, and they was just beautiful. Like they were like so wearable and so affordable. I think that collaboration was, I think, quite nice. I think that they should do one more of that.
Which two brands, international and homegrown, do you think could combine their aesthetic to make a really sick collab?
I think somebody should do something with like an Ikaya or a raw mango.
That Banarsi weave.
Just get like a high street version of it, of those fabrics and the textiles and the textures. I think that's going to be a great collaboration.
Okay, so we're moving into the next segment, and we basically have a couple of questions for you from people that are just starting out in the industry.
Sure.
Right? As someone who's just starting out in the industry, what knowledge should they have before they start?
Hear my interview. I think you'll get all the knowledge.
Yeah.
I think I've kind of covered
There's
up
a few
everything.
gems.
Yeah. No, I'm just joking. But like, I think if you're starting out and you want to become a stylist, I think first your knowledge on fashion has to be, you need to be well read, and you need to know your fashion and know your fashion knowledge. Don't take that lightly, because these days every second person wants to become a stylist. I'm sorry to say, but yeah, that's a harsh truth. Like, every designer wants to become a stylist, and so you have to kind of understand that it's not a frivolous job. It is a very, very demanding, stressful job. It's a very stressful job,
and your work ethic needs to be on point.
100%. And for a while, if you want to make it, you need to forget about everything else. By everything else, I mean, whether it comes to it's a lot of hard work, so you have to be ready for it. And a lot of people who come to me and say, I want to become a stylist, of course, on paper you want to become a stylist. When you have to come to actual work, you realize that they just want to become a stylist for frivolous reasons, which is which we show on social media. Trust me, what we show on social media is 0.0% of what's actually happening outside.
That's possibly 5 seconds of 24 hours.
Yeah, the stress levels are completely haywire, and you're constantly running around. There is no scheduling. There is no so you need to be very, very well averse of it. I'm not scaring you, but what I'm trying to say is, know that it's going to be like this.
Yeah.
And it's across, it's not okay, celebrity styling is easier than editorial styling, or film styling is different from all kinds of styling in India. It comes with a lot of pressure. Having said that, it's a very, very creative job. It's very exciting. What keeps me going after 12 years is that I'll be working on different projects. Every project is different. You end up meeting some really, really cool, creative people who are working day in and day out to make something happen. And when that's created, there's a sense of satisfaction. There is, I did it. So of course, I kind of live for that. Yes, I did it. So
all of us get a kick out of it at that moment.
So my biggest advice will be, if you're really, really keen on getting into styling, first have your knowledge and your education right. Then assist as many people you can. Get that experience, because that's very, very important. Make your right contacts. Contacts are very important to get work and get into the groove and get in the industry. So that's why working with the right people who can connect you with the right people is very important. And once you have that, create your portfolio. You have to be at it. You have the biggest platform given to you, which is Instagram. Put your work out and people will see it and they'll give you work. And there's work for everyone if you're ready for that, if you're ready to check all the boxes which I mentioned.
Yeah. The second question is, how do you build a relationship with brands while sourcing?
It's over the years. It takes time. There's so many brands, there's so many PR companies and agencies and whatnot. But I think it's over the years. You have to make sure that you're not ruining their products. You're taking full care.
Etiquette.
Yeah, exactly. And there will be, you're only human. Things will get damaged. You need to know how to handle them. You need to respect the brands and you need to respect their products. And it's a relationship built over time. It's not an overnight thing. And and I'm still building it. I started day one and still building it. So
it's an ongoing thing.
It's an ongoing process.
And I'd add to that by saying, I think, respectful communications also so important.
Very important.
Right?
Very important.
It's not just when you need somebody, something from someone that you hit them up and you're just like, hi, I need this urgently. It's also like a rapport that you're building.
And
with
I see these days there is no boundary. People will message you at 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock at night, and WhatsApp has become your business. WhatsApp suddenly has become your business WhatsApp. And I tell people, I block people. Honestly, now I block because I'm tired of telling them, okay, this is not your working hours and this is not the time to connect.
Yeah.
But I understand their urgencies also, and I understand they also have timelines and everything. And sometimes even I message and I apologize. Like, I'm really, really sorry. I'm bugging you on a weekend, or I'm bugging you post working hours. But maintaining that balance and having respect, as you said, like, respect is very important.
Yeah.
You need to have that.
Thank you so much for that, Aastha. That was very insightful. That's a wrap on our conversation.
Yay.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I loved it.
It was so interesting to hear about Aastha's personal and professional journey. If you enjoyed this episode, follow us on your favorite streaming platform. We'll be here next week. Until then, I'm your host, Surbhi.